California, man. The man shot and killed 12 people. I think he injured or wounded more. I'm not for sure. It doesn't say on here. But yeah, after he shot and killed 12 people, he killed himself. So I just want to say, man, everybody I don't for no for whatever reason is scared of Somalians and black people and whatever other race. But the motherfuckers that's killing people is all white folk. Now get mad if you want to, but all the last mass shootings that I've seen over the last couple times have all been vanilla. They all been white. They all been Caucasian. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest.
I don't know of any black mass shooters. Not any. I mean mass shooters. Understand? I'm just talking about mass shooters. Right. We've had some brown people that went postal in other areas, but not mass shooters.
But over the last couple of times, that's what I'm saying.
I said brown people. Understand? I just said brown people, and I'm gonna leave it within that color spectrum of brown.
No, comedian. No, stop. I was finna make a joke. I'm not going to. All right, yeah, my bad. Continue. I apologize. I was finna make a joke. It was gonna be tasteless. Very.
Go ahead. Shoot it out.
No. I kind of want us to survive for a little bit longer.
Go ahead.
But no, yeah, man. Honestly, I truthfully, if we think about the last few people that we've heard and like seen on the news, who's been front page news, it's been all white people. It's been that Dylan Roof kid with the church. It's been the Waffle House, the dude that got naked in the Waffle House and killed all those people. Who else? It's been the Vegas shooter. It's been multiple. Dog, like literally, all of them are white. All of them white, and everybody's scared of everybody, every other race. But check this out: if they don't kill themselves, now this is where it's gonna get irritated for me, because if they don't quote unquote kill themselves, they just have a mental illness. Now we need to actually put a stop to that bullshit, because if a black person or a brown person or a Asian person, I was finna say yellow person, does this, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? They're a criminal, or they've been plotting this forever. But when a white person does it, oh no, he doesn't kill himself. Let me make sure I make that clear. And he does not kill himself. Oh, he just has a mental problem. Oh, there's something wrong with him. Oh, we've seen all the signs, but we didn't want to do anything because that's not ethical. Da 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 da. We need to put a stop to that shit. Cause these motherfuckers is crazy. Crazy. For no goddamn reason. I feel bad for everybody that lost their lives in LA. And we were just talking about the fire thing. But everybody, all those people that lost their lives in LA, man, all in that club and shit like that, stay your ass at home, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Clubs is played out. 2018, man. Get cuffed up or something. You know what I'm saying? Clubs is played all the way the fuck out. That shit is just trash anyways. Bad, a bunch of bad energy. But dog, it's like we need to do something about this, man. Cause I'm sick and tired of these motherfuckers getting off. I'm really sick and tired of these motherfuckers getting off with, oh, well, he has a mental illness. Motherfucking mental illness don't make you want to kill somebody, dog. You should have just did what you did in the last place. You should have just killed yourself first, so all these other 12 people would still be alive. And if everybody get mad, that's so cruel. Fuck y'all. Fuck you. I'll keep it 100 with you, dog. Dog, kill yourself first before you kill somebody else, dog. Honestly. If you want to end your life that bad and you don't want to talk about it with somebody else, you don't want to go to therapy, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to talk to your friends or your parents or some shit like that, go ahead, pull that trigger. Do this. Do this for me. Go ahead. Pull it. Pull it. Pull it. You know what I'm saying? Do it. You gonna save everybody else's life. And you gonna just be in limbo or hell or whatever you want to believe in.
but that a lot of the times that's not the goal. The problem is a lot of those issues that dwell within people are because of their interactions with people in general. And people can be cold at times, so they're not about to just kill themselves. They're gonna take a couple of you motherfuckers. Gonna take a couple of you motherfuckers with me. So that's simple.
Just a cold world.
Nah, you don't see a lot of black folk do that. As far as I know, you don't see definitely, especially here in America, you just don't see that. So I don't know what it is. We got a lot of theories on what it could be. Got a lot of theories on what it could be, but we don't know exactly what it is that goes on, especially in like these. It tends to happen. I'm not even gonna say necessarily suburban. It's just why does it happen specifically with not specifically, but it happens a lot with white guys, and it's a lot of maybe it's because of the evil rhetoric that's been spit, through many leaders and, throughout history. And now you got Donald Trump doing the same thing, and that's ramped up, that's triggered them. But I mean, at the same time, it's like, you've had plenty of rhetoric. You've had a lot of stuff from, slavery itself, different things like Jim Crow. That can make a black person or somebody say, hey, fuck it, I'm going to go spray up a bunch of club full of white folks. But, they never decide to do that for who knows. For what reason, nobody knows. And I'm glad they don't go do that. But I just don't know. Is it a genetic reason? Is it something? Is it generational karma that just brings sort of a cloudiness to their judgment? I mean, who knows? These are just theories that I'm throwing out. These are things that we just need to have real discussions about. I mean, we talk about everything else. You'll have that, have that talk. They want to talk about they need to start having real talks, even when they talk about black on black crime or anything. Let's talk about it, but let's not sensationalize it and just have it for media views and everything. Let's view into it. Well, why are black people, doing why is it things like that going on in the different communities and things like that? Why are white people just spraying up, shooting up, random places? Like what's the what happened to it? What goes on within the culture and in the environments that leads people to take this route and necessarily, because all we got to go off of is we take whatever goes on, whether it's a robbery, a shooting, mass shooting, or whatever. And so you have statistics, you have things that you see that say, well, when this certain things happen, it's usually how much of it is perpetuated by this group versus this group. And so those are logical things to go off of and try to figure out what is causing it. There's a genesis to everything. There's a reason why different things happen. So we just need to start. We need to get to the bottom of that first. In every situation like that, it's always mental. What was I saying? Just mentally off. He's mentally unhealthy. It's always that situation. There's a lot of people walking around like that today, walking around America every day. They're not all the way there mentally, because a lot of people see different things in life, and life is just life for everybody, no matter what race you are, whatever. Life is traumatic. No matter what race, class, things we are, now having money, having a lot of money, things like that, it'll help you move around. Moving around helps ease certain things like that, seeing life and understanding life for that. So having resources and different things like that does help ease it, but still, life is still something that nobody can escape. Is a traumatic experience for everybody. You can't. Death is always promised, whether it's you or a person that you love. It's promised in life. Everybody's going to experience it. So who knows? And just a lot of that stuff, it just isn't addressed in everyday life. I don't know. We just need to sit down. We need to sit down and start having. We got to get rid of this whole PC culture first of all. But that'll never happen on TV. So that's where it comes into people's hands, and that's where everything really comes into play. It's always in the people's hands. We'll talk about the government and government and what the media does, but it all lays in the hands of the people and how we interact with each other, the conversations that we have, and the things that we're allowing. The type of information that we allow, or not the information, but the behavior that we allow. You know what I'm saying? Just all of that is it's all important. So we got to pay attention. We got to, like I say, always be nitpicky on these different things. If you want to be a social engineer in society, we can all be social engineers in our own little way. You know what I'm saying? And make a change. So let's do that.
That's coming from a cooler head than myself, because I was the hot head over here. But Lauren, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would say that the way we deal with mental health is a problem. I think that we don't address it in the right tone, and then that allows people to actually abuse it, and just not be objective. Because every situation, when you talk about a mass shooting or anything to that degree, has to have that level of objectivity to it. Every situation is not the same. Mm-hmm. I think that we tend to want to point the finger, and it's probably, I think there is a level of truth when you think about it objectively, is somebody that is capable of doing something like this is mentally disoriented. I mean, those are facts, you know what I'm saying? Because, a regular person is just not going to walk up and be like, I think I'm going to go chitty chitty bang bang today. Mm-hmm. Like a person that's in the right, stable frame of mind, and it only takes a second. Like, that's the thing, that's why they say, somebody was having a lot of issues, and that was just kind of the straw that broke the camel's back and made them go off on the deep end, so, people are dealing with different issues. We have a lot of stigmas within, the framework of just people in general. There are a lot of different stigmas. They just aren't just, racially driven or things of that nature. So, I mean, you could talk about gun control, and there's different pieces of it that, would make a complete puzzle. Like Corey said, it's really opening up that dialogue and not allowing ourselves to have a knee-jerk reaction, because that's typically what causes it. So things now is we just have this quick knee-jerk reaction. Everybody makes this assumption, and then it's over. And then you got anywhere from 10 to 100 people dead, mm-hmm. And 6 months later, we've forgotten about it because the next one is happening. We're talking about the shooting at an LA club, or whatever club in California, and we've completely, I'm not going to say forgot, but about the dude the guy that just shot up the synagogue or whatever.
Yep, yeah.
And so, and it goes into the whole desensitization, and it's just, you create these layers upon layers upon layers, and we're adding layers when really we need to be peeling layers back to really get, down to the meat and potatoes of the issue, but we're adding layers to it. We're not trying to take them away. And so, it's always tragic, but we have to learn from tragedy, and that's what we're not being able to shift into. Is how do we truly learn from this tragedy? If you see somebody stacking ammo, like, raise your hand. You know what I'm saying? We have we have a no snitch mentality into somebody that we know dies, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, damn, we should have said something. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I'll be honest with you, sometime in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Shit happens. It's how it gets summed up. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no, I won't say remorse, because that's not the word that I want to use, but, there is no change in just normal thought process. You know what I'm saying? You see a baby get killed, from a stray bullet, and everybody in the hood, I don't say everybody in the hood, but in some hoods, it's like, yeah, man, that shit happens around here, man. That shit real fucked up, you know what I'm saying? We know who did it, but we ain't snitching.
Yeah.
We ain't snitching. You know what I'm saying? And you have different codes like that. And I'm not here to debate whether or not they're right or wrong. I'm not here to debate that. I go back to my original statement that I made is we have to look at each situation objectively. We have to take the time to do it, because that is going to be the only way we figure this shit out. You know what I'm saying? Every single shooter that we talk about Sandy Hook. You know what I'm saying? You talk about the Vegas shooter, the LA shooter, the synagogue shooter. Like, you can't group them all into the same exact category. Do they share similarities? Probably. But they're not all the same, and we're beginning to group them into the same exact category of people that just had a mental illness and then they flew off the handle. And I think, once we really take real responsibility for why these things are happening is when you'll start to see real solutions. Because you have your people that want to just go straight to guns and say, this is a gun control issue. Does that have some validity? Probably. But that's not the only way that you have to attack that particular situation. And so once you become a one-trick pony, you'll never fix anything. You know what I'm saying? A basketball player that can just shoot has to learn other things. Otherwise, you lose that shot and you got nothing. Mm-hmm. It's the same way with conflict resolution. You have to think of multiple solutions to the problem and then begin to work within those solutions to figure out, okay, what happened here? How can we prevent this in the future? What steps can we take so this doesn't happen again? Because, I can't really tell you why all you see is white guys, not even white women, just white guys, flying off the handle like this. But what I will say is it will be a scary fucking day when a black person finally does it. If that happens, it will be a scary day, because I'm telling you, Pandora's box will open. We live in a copycat world, and it's the first, I'm telling you right now, you get that first black shooter, and I'm scared. Because all people need is one person to set the tone. And then from there, they like, well, shit, that motherfucker did it. So guess what? I'm gonna do that shit too.
I think it would have. I think it would have happened by now. Especially. So? Yeah, especially.
Well, here's the thing.
Especially as how they say mentally ill Negroes are supposedly are. You know what I'm saying? They got guns. They say they.
Well, yeah. Let me ask you this: do you put a mass shooter in a different category than you put a mass bomber?
No.
No.
You saying no, right?
Yeah, but okay.
So,
I'm gonna let you finish. My bad. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah. No, the motive.
The motive is different, but do you put them in?
The motive is different. Yeah, but
every motive is different though. Like every motive is different though.
Yes and no.
I don't know. We don't know what's in that person's mind.
I'm just asking that because I made the reference to a black shooter, and I'm asking is, do we separate black people from a Muslim who will strap on a backpack like game over? For a lot of you motherfuckers, game over. You know what I'm saying? Like, do we separate ourselves like that? Because we talk about, you know what I'm saying, white people. But I'm not going to group all brown people into the same category, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the bombers and shit like that, they're doing that for a religious reason, you know what I'm saying, or a so-called religious reason, you know what I'm saying? But when do you separate it and when does it all bleed together?
But check this, though. When you said the black shooters and the white shooters, can you put them in the same thing? No. Because if a black person was to shoot somebody and was to go shoot up a shit ton of people like the white people do, it's hunting season for the niggas. But for the white folk,
I don't disagree with that notion by any stretch of the imagination.
I mean, but okay, what was you gonna say, Corey?
This is also where you differentiate. It's because how you separate them is how you move. It affects how you move in life. So I'll tell you right now, and it's proven to be true. I tell you right now, I don't go into a restaurant full of black people and expect a black man to come in there and start shooting up the place. Now, nine times out of 10, you go somewhere, it's not going to get shot up. But if it does, I more than likely believe it'll be a white person that does it. If I'm walking out of the restaurant and the nigga pulls up and puts the blammy to my damn face, I think I just gave it away when I said nigga. I think nine times out of 10, it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, getting you for your cash or your wallet. Okay. Not to say that's what it's gonna be all the time. There's probably been black shooters, you know what I'm saying, that we just don't know about that have shot up someplace. But as far as
we know it. We know it because how many y'all all have lived here? Am I correct? Y'all all lived in Kansas City. How many clubs then got shot down because somebody came up in a motherfucking shooting?
Rest in peace, Dom.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's the thing. See, when I said it wrong when I said black shooters. Guys that had an actual. Now, did they have a? That's a good question, man. That's a good question because when we're trying to break down the psychology and what's going on in their mind, a lot of times we assume that, the black person had a beef with somebody. It was somebody in particular. So even if they decide they were going to go shoot up the whole crowd of people, it was usually because of their conflict that they got with that one person.
Right.
Yeah, but at the same time, we tend not to give white people that same benefit of doubt, especially people who have been bullied at school or certain things like that. But a lot of times and then sometimes it comes from Lauren.
I opened up a can of worms, didn't I?
You just don't see. They'll get it in. See. Now we starting to break down. You know what I'm saying? What goes on when they doing it? See, they not just gonna go open and niggas gonna get that. Get their little spray off. They not gonna just keep going around with the intent of, hey, let me go kill as many people as I can. You know what I'm saying, before the cops get me down. Usually it's just, hey, they pissed off in the moment and they about to blow off some steam because somebody just, punched them in their face or took their girls, some stupid shit. It's all stupid shit, but they gonna get it off. But, like I said.
You're saying it's driven by an individual bias and not a social bias.
What?
The difference between when you see a random black person go shoot up a club and some extra people die because they really looking for one versus a white dude. They just go up in the church like, I don't like none of you motherfuckers.
They don't have to have any history, no connection with anybody around. That's something that we just people all notice. It's been noted by white people. You know what I'm saying? And they living in fear. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting saying all white people do that. They living in fear because they don't know what's gonna go on. They don't, kids can't go to school. Ain't no, more than likely ain't no black kid gonna go in no black school shooting up everybody. I haven't heard the story of that, but I've heard it plenty of times. You know what I'm saying? With white schools and things like that. So now
you want to know why?
Why?
I know.
Free zones. Free zones.
Gun free.
Expectation is it's the expectation that nothing's going to happen. That's why. So you never prepare for it.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Now let's be honest. We're saying right now, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no black kid gonna go up in no black school and shoot them up. You were probably right. You know what I'm saying? 100%. But there is a level of preparation for some shit to pop off, though. You know what I'm saying? That's when you made the statement earlier about suburban areas. Why does this always happen in primarily suburban areas? It's because it's the expectation that I am 100% safe. This shit will never happen to me. It will never happen here.
Go even deeper. That's why.
Oh, this is so good. Oh, this is good.
One thing I've always noticed is it's all in psychology. I've always noticed that, and this can go from the environment. It could be environmental thing. Who knows what? But only people that tend to look across, not everybody. So don't say, hey, not all of us do that and shit like that. But the only people who I noticed tend to look both ways when they cross the damn street when a car is coming. You walking there. Walmart parking lot, when you're driving through Walmart parking lot or some shit like that. Black folks. Yeah. Everybody else?
Yeah.
I'm talking about from Hispanic to white to Asian. They just walk out in front. They'll walk out in front.
Pedestrians first.
They just assume. They assume that it's, they got that. They got the right to that. Whereas, I'm telling you, it's something that I internalize and I look. Black folks up there, they'll stop. They'll stop and wait. They be looking. Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll make sure. So I don't know. Yeah, it's weird, man.
Nah, you used a great word. You used the word psychology. You know what I'm saying? It is psychological. Like it's funny. I was talking to my daughter earlier, and I was playing with her. She said something slick to me, so I took my belt off. Right?
Yeah.
Had no intention. Had no intention.
It's just
But I was just messing with her. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "Well, Dad, have you ever been with before?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I sure have." Mm-hmm. And I said, "That's part of the reason why you haven't been." And she was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "I think there's some psychological fear. Like it happened so much to me that psychologically I just can't see myself doing it to anybody else."
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
The crazier part of that, what you just said was, I literally heard something. I heard something about this dude talking. He was talking about people beating dogs, and how when you beat a dog so much, like the aggression, and it doesn't become aggression anymore. It becomes fear. So every time, even if you like pulling your hand out to like pet him, he'll whimper. So it's just that repetitiveness of know that you might get hurt if this person reaches out to you.
But it's not even that. People Lauren just said though, when you've been abused, beaten, killed, beaten so much, and now it happens, and like I said, it happens. It's an epidemic across America, but But we can literally sit there and look at why these murders and different things are happening. We can see it's really not brain science and things like that. The murders that happen in the hood, things like that, we can literally sit there and see where a lot of it is stemmed from.
Yep.
A lot of it stems from. The only problem is trying to clean it up. That's the tough part now. Trying to clean it up and trying to change the mindset. Trying to change a mindset that has been corrupted, has been normalized, where different things have been normalized and accepted as this is the way life is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? You would still have that. You would still have that if the mind was in another state. But it wouldn't be like it is today. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be like it is. It wouldn't be so broad. So, but what he's saying is, hey, yeah, what was he about to say?
Nah, I was just gonna say that when you think about the structure of how laws were created, especially in the beginning of our judicial system, they weren't created to protect the victim. They were created to protect the rich.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You think about how black people just over time just think of, man, just so much shit that has happened from being in slavery to getting, let go, being put back in slavery, put under the black codes. The people look up what the black codes are. It's everything from, from having your neighborhood bombed to building that back up to, Jim Crow, having Jim Crow and everything. And then, now you got and I don't think it was entirely intentionally, but I think they do it on purpose. Now you got the whole welfare issue, and then dropping guns and different drugs and things like that, and just you seeing this stuff. Why would you want to? You see it happening to yourself, and it came from what's been done to you. Why would you want to do that to somebody else? And I think that's exactly that plays into that psychology. So yeah, I think that's a big thing. I think that really is a big thing, and it shows itself. Like I said, that's what it said, man. Things like slavery, and I just say slavery, just the black struggle, being the black man in the world, not just America, but in the world. It shows itself within the people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that was real deep.
I mean, and also that brings up another thing. Real quick before we bounce out of here, man. Forgiveness. That's where the one thing that I hate that we have in this culture is forgiveness. After all the bullshit that we've all been through, that's the first thing. That's the first thing that to do is forgive. But that's a whole different.
It is, and I will tell you this: the problem is not the forgiveness; it's the forgetting. Problem is not the forgiveness; it's the forgetting. You think because you forgive somebody that means that you have to forget it, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Look, I don't have any malice towards white people in today's society, because the form of slavery that we know of from a oppression, I won't even say an oppression standpoint, but slavery in its physical form. Like, that shit doesn't happen. It's mental now. You know what I'm saying? And, so I don't hold any malice in my heart for white people in today's world for some shit that happened, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. But I will not forget what happened, because if I forget what happened, that's when I fuck myself.
Right.
Yeah.
You can forgive all day. Because here's the thing. How many people say sorry and then be like, man, it's all good? And did you really forgive them? Nah, it's just kind of standard practice sometimes to apologize and be like, it's all good. It's just standard practice. You know what I'm saying? You fuck somebody over. If you really, you apologize, you may not mean an apology. They may not really mean it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of a standardized thing sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Your actions ultimately prove if you're really fucking sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and that's why, it's hard, because, I deal with this shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't say sorry to me. Just stop doing that shit.
True.
You don't need to apologize to me. Just stop doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So the whole forgiveness thing, you know what I'm saying? Really, that's religious anyway, and that's again a whole other topic. You know what I'm saying? But it's really the forgetting. You know what I'm saying? Because you form a wall when you don't forget. You know what I'm saying? That way, nobody can walk in and do the same shit to you again because you're not gonna allow it. Because you didn't forget when it happened the first time or maybe the second time or some shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But when you choose to forget, that's really when you let it all go. That's really when you let it all go. Right, wrong, or indifferent. It's when you choose to forget. Like, it's almost like it did, pretty much like it didn't happen. That can be a problem depending on what the situation was.
Whew, that was good shit. That was a good ass segment right there. That was like it came left field too. I'll let y'all know that for real. I thought I was gonna be. I know I was the hothead in this one, but we came full circle, guys. We came full circle.
This is what Corey was talking about. So like, if we don't have the conversation in full, and I mean, let's be honest, we could be talking probably for another couple of hours.
Oh, yeah.
But if we don't start having these conversations in full, we don't peel back the layers. We continue to add layers to it because we're just covering up shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a famous quote from Shrek. I'm like an onion. I have layers.
Or you can throw another one that's better out than in.
I always say. All right, so and on that note, man, Thursday, 9:00, same time, man. Don't forget to before we leave out of here, we're not gonna get it off your chest or whatever. But don't forget, man, to go on Facebook, man, like the Facebook page, man, Average Guy Podcast, Grit Sports Media for all your sports needs. And remember, all the sports will be taken from the first half will be placed on Grit Sports Media, man. So I'll let you guys know the time and the date that we go live every week, but make sure you hit those post notifications to let you know whenever we go live on Grit Sports Media. Go follow that page for all of your sports needs, man. Trust me, I'm gonna be there. Lauren gonna be there. Corey gonna be there. We gonna have content for you guys. Also, the Average Guy Podcast on YouTube, or Average Guy Studios on YouTube. Go follow that. Hit that notification button, man. Thank you to all the supporters and everybody that's been sharing and liking and telling a friend to tell a friend, man. Hey, like I said, we coming up. We gonna be on multiple different platforms for y'all. We got multiple different outlooks. Just look what happened here tonight. Oh, it's only gonna get better from here, baby. So with all that being said, man, this is the Average Guy Podcast. Shout out to Lauren and Corey, man, and we're out.